So I was asked by my good friend Natasha to record a story about Chester. And, you know, honestly, there's so many funny stories that I have about him. It was actually really hard for me to come up with like one really good, you know, crowd killer story, because the guy was such a goofball all the time. I mean, it was just next level, and it was just always constant, you know, sitting in this studio together every day for months and months and months. It was just constant laugh out loud crazy all the time. You know, it was almost always funny and fun, and that's one of the things that, you know, made me feel so at ease around him and made me feel so good. It just really played off of my natural, you know, desire to be goofy and silly all the time, and he just made it so easy and fun. But I was trying to find like a really cool short story about him, and I thought maybe it would be cool to talk about how Dead by Sunrise actually came into being. And it actually happened right in this room. Chester was sitting right where I'm sitting. He had this guitar in his hand, and on this mic, he did the first kind of legit recording of Letdown. So how did that happen? Basically, I heard Let Down for the first time, and yes, this does get pretty funny because it's going to be a great example of Chester Bennington at his silliest. I heard the song for the first time after a party at Chester's house years and years ago. He would have a party, or I would have a party, and he and I would always end up being, you know, the last people at the party, kind of sitting in a corner by ourselves with guitars in hand and talking about music and working on music and telling each other that we wanted to play together. And this is after we were done pretty much entertaining everyone at the party all night long, which is usually what ended up happening. And he played me the ideas that ended up becoming Dead by Sunrise. And I went and told Amir, my partner from Orgy and Dead by Sunrise and Julian K, how good, you know, Chester's songs were and how interesting it was and how different from Linkin Park it was and all that kind of good stuff. And at the time, and this is classic Chester, Chester was really helping us with Julian K. He was participating in it. He was helping me become a better singer. He was giving me the courage to sing. He was doing all this fucking cool shit. And then he would sit right in here with us, you know, at a keyboard or next to the microphone or whatever it is, and just kind of participate in the band. And literally, he goes, I guess we got deep into work, and he just goes, he's like, you know what, I think I'm going to join the band. And we were like, well, dude, you're in Linkin Park. You know, it was like, what the fuck are you thinking? And that was classic Chester. And he was dead serious. He was going to join Julian K. And I was like, well, I'm the singer of Julian K, though, and we've been working really hard to get me to be the singer. How can I be the singer in a band with you in the band? And that made no sense to me. I'm like, you would have to be the singer because you're the best. You're like the best singer I've ever heard. And so we went around with that for a little while, and it was really silly and really stupid. And he was obviously not gonna quit Linkin Park or anything like that. That was non-negotiable, and we didn't want that at all. But he was like, yeah, I'll do this, and we'll do both bands. And I think that we said, well, why don't we try and figure out something different than with you instead of doing Julian K with you? And he's like, oh yeah. And so we just kind of thought about it a little bit, and nothing really happened. And I mentioned to him, why don't we work on some of the songs that you were doing at your house, like at the party, like last week or whatever it was. And so he came in and he played what became Letdown, you know, this kind of loose structure of these chords, you know, and we recorded it with this microphone, I think right here, so we could get the guitar and his vocal. And he just kind of sang a version of it. It was kind of a loose version of it. And he got up and, you know, he got done with his loose version of it and kind of did it pretty good all the way through, and took off the guitar, just like this. And here's classic Chester. He probably set the guitar like upside down like this so it would fall and break the neck, because he was all about that kind of stuff. He would always just like break instruments on accident and stuff. And then he would get up and he's all, okay, so do whatever you want with it. And then he like left, and we were like, oh, okay, you know, do whatever you want with it. All right, so we'll do that. So we worked on it, I think almost all night, because we thought it was a really good song, but it was very loose. And we ended up doing what became Dead by Sunrise to that song. And he came in the next day and came into the studio, and he's like, you know, hey, so cool. So what'd you guys think of that song? We're like, well, you know, listen to it. And we pressed the space bar, and he was sitting right here, and he's listening, and we completely did all the shit, like the drums, all this shit. We did our shit over it, and very, 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 very similar to what made the final album. And we were all sitting here together, and the song wasn't even done playing, and oh my God. And Chester just got up. He's like, oh my God, dude. He's like, duh. And he's getting super animated, and then he would get up and he would run out into my house and run around my living room and run back in, like, and then run back in. Dude, play it again. And then we were laughing, and because he was getting really excited and all this kind of stuff. And so we played again, and he'd get up, dude, and he would run, whee, come back like that and do all this really, really fucking cute, super funny shit. Like when he was excited about something, he made the entire house light up. I mean, he would be running out there screaming like a little kid. Yeah, woo! And he'd run back in, and he'd be winded, you know, like, dude, holy shit, like, we're like a fucking band. And that was the funniest thing ever. Just to kind of finally hear what we would do over his music, or his song seeds, his ideas, and to really realize it in full, turned him into a little kid. And that was Chester 101. I mean, that is like really the sweetest part of him. You know, he really had the ability to tap into that childlike nature that you need to have if you're going to be successful in this business and bring joy to everyone that hears your music. And that was just another really, really cute and funny and endearing example of my little brother Chester. Yeah, I hope it brightens everyone's day to know that he had a personality that I think we all know that was just absolutely incredible. And I miss it, and I think about him every single day. And I love all of you.